Hey guys, back again with another live trading video for all you dollar monsters out there. This video is from the live dollar monster Discord chat. That's where I do all my live trades at, so that you all can follow along and trade as I trade, or do your own trades. You know, there ain't no rules here. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified whenever a new video is uploaded. And also leave a comment so that YouTube knows that you're interested in this sort of video. Before we get started, the stock we're trading is Lowe's. We found this stock by going to the earnings calendar at the NASDAQ website and seeing what companies, what stocks were releasing their earnings report for today. Excuse me. We checked the earnings report, went to Google, did a search on the Lowe's stock. The news gave us a very, very good earnings report. And as you can see from the chart, it's doing great. And investors are responding positively to it, which is good. That's what we want. So without further ado, let's get started into this video. Okay, now I've got my charts set on 5-minute intervals. So each one of these candlesticks is 5 minutes of time. I clipped the video some because I didn't want you guys sitting here waiting 5, 10, 15, almost 20 minutes for me to be able to pull the trigger and, you know, get into the action. Reason being is because I kind of had a feeling that this was going to be a V-shaped recovery. Which it ended up being. You know, as you can see, it's gone up. It opened right here, went all the way up here, and then immediately came back down. And that's what a V-shaped recovery does. It'll spike for just a moment, and then it'll tank. It'll crash back down. It'll seek its support level and start on its way back up, just like this, as you can see. Now, like I said, this is about, it's 12 seconds left on this bar, so it's right at 20 minutes before I pulled the trigger. Reason why I pulled the trigger is because I wanted to make sure this was not going to end up being just, you know, constant red bar after red bar. So I let the stock come down, and it recovered, came down some more, and I was watching to see what was going to happen, and it started going back up. I determined that if any of these bars broke this red wick right here, then that's a sign that the stock's going to go up. So even more so, you know, go ahead and get in while the getting's good. Gotta follow the price action, follow the momentum of, you know, everybody else getting in there, buy, which is exactly why these green candlesticks have popped up. Whenever buyers start piling in like that, that's what happens. It causes the price to go up. So once it got around here, and as you can see, this blue line has cracked over this red wick, then that tells me it's time to go in. I got in. That's my get in level. Now we're just waiting and letting the rest of the pattern finish forming. And, you know, like I've told you guys before, you know, all these patterns, you can spot these patterns. They come up time and time again. They are constant. And they're everywhere. They're not just in one stock or one a sector or something of an industry or whatever. You know, like, they are in everything. You just have to know how to spot them. You have to learn what the patterns are. And just stay on top with a keen eye on looking for those patterns and spotting them when they're happening. And, you know, you can find all these patterns, all the tutorials and the courses on this stuff at the Dollar Monster website. You know, just sign up, you become a Dollar Monster member, and you have full access to all that, including the live Dollar Monster Discord chat, you know, when we do all our live trades. Also, you can follow along with the other members there. maybe follow the trades that they're doing, or, follow the trades that I'm making, whatever you want to do. Okay, so we've got 40 shares in here. I've set my take profit level at 238.32 right here. So if this stock price reaches that or higher, it will automatically sell, so I ain't got to fool about, not making it in time. I also put my stop loss down here at 232.35. Now, the reason why, and, not way down here or anything, is because you don't want to have too tight of a stop loss, because you could get stomped out and your shares get sold just because of a temporary, like, 5-second drop. Your shares sell off and you're like, well, at least I didn't lose no money but a little bit. And then all of a sudden you see the stock price start shooting up and you're like, oh my God, why is this going on? It's because you had your stop loss set too tight. Also, you don't want to set it too low, because then, in order to get yourself out while the getting's good, just take a little, bruise on the cheek instead of a busted lip. You want to keep it kind of in the middle range. You don't want it too far away, but you also don't want it too tight to where you're trading at. So, you want to kind of put it halfway, so that if you do lose some money, you only lose a little bit. And you preserve the majority, the lion's share of your capital. Opposed to having your stop loss, say, way down here, and by the time it gets down there and triggers it to sell, you've lost hundreds, of dollars, or thousands of dollars, depending on how much, you're trading with. So yeah, we put in our stop loss at 232.35, and our take profit up here at 238.32. Now, while we got this here, I would like to go over the support and resistance. I get asked about this a lot by you guys, and how do you map out support and resistance? How can you spot it? How do you know what's happening? Okay, what you want to do is you want to look for a candle. Let me find something over here. You want, like right here, you want to look for a candle like this, or better yet, like this. Look at this. This is a red candle. The body is there, and then you've got a wick on the bottom and a wick on the top. This is about where our support is, okay? Basically, the stock doesn't want to drop below this price. This is where it drops, hits that price, and bounces back up. But also, there's a resistance. The stock will only go, see, look at this. This is as high as the stock wants to go. And as you can see, I've got my take profit just under where that candle is, where the body is. I don't want to put it too high up here, because there's a chance that the price might not reach that high. It's going to probably hit around here on the resistance and come down, back down to the support, and it'll bounce again. Now, that's fine if you want to sit there and wait for that, but when you're a trader, you want to get in, you want to get out. You don't have time to be sitting here waiting 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes for the stock price to drop or go back up. You ain't got the time for it. So, you've got to map out your support and your resistance. Here's your support. See this? This is where the stock price doesn't like to go below this. So there's your support, and then here's your resistance. The stock price doesn't want to go above this. It doesn't want to do it. So let's put our take profit as close as possible to that without overdoing it. As you can see, since I purchased my shares right here, we have slowly made our ascension up. We're almost at 1.5% return on investment. And that's another thing. You got to remember, this is all about consistency. You've got to stay consistent. If you can pull in 1% a day, just off of one trade, one day, That's 5% return on your investment in a week, because stock market only trades Monday through Friday. The most traders can't even do that. Only fairly seasoned and Wall Street traders can do stuff like that. But in order to get there, you have to stay consistent. And then, take into account that there might be one day you make a bad trade and you lose a little bit of money. Or maybe even 2 days where you make a bad trade and you lose a little bit of money. No biggie. No biggie. The majority of the time, you've got to stay consistent. That's what it's about. Always stay consistent. Now, we're almost up here, $110. There we go, $116 in the bank. And it's that simple. But like I said, it's about spotting the patterns. It's about plotting what your trade is going to be before you even do it. But you cannot make that kind of secure decision without spotting patterns. You've got to learn patterns. I tell you guys this over and over again, almost every video I do. Patterns and learning how to spot them and getting them right off as soon as you see it happening and know it's happening. That's the key to making money day trading. You're not going to make any money, any substantial real money, without learning patterns. You just can't do it. You see these videos on YouTube, all these people think they, know this. Well, I know this. No, I know this. And, oh, well, they don't know, but I know. Listen to me. And they never get to the core of the issue. And that is that people don't know what the patterns are, so they can't act on them. People don't know the basics of even beginning to plot their support and resistance. If you don't know where the support of the stock price is or the resistance of it, then you really shouldn't be in there at all. And that's not to be mean or rude to anybody that's or nothing, but it's just the facts. It's just the facts. Plain common sense. Like when you hear people tell you, well, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, that's not it's just plain old common sense. You put all your eggs in one basket, you drop that basket, guess what? You've lost all your eggs. Not just one or two or some of them, but all of them. You don't want to do something to the extreme. Like things like double dipping. I've heard so many people, well, I made all this money in this trade, and while I've got this here, I'm gonna go over an example of double dipping. I've had a few people, that are new to trading and they don't understand. Well, like, what is double dipping? What's wrong with it? What's so bad about it? Okay, so I'll give you an example. Let's say you bought this stock. You bought this stock right here. Okay, let's say you right here where my mouse is at $230 a share. You bought this stock right here. You see all this going up. You say, "Oh my," and then you see all this happening, and you're like, "Okay, let's see what happens." And then you see it go up to right here, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell it." And so you sell it right here. See where my at 234.50. You sell it right here, and then the stock goes up a little bit more. And you say, oh, maybe it's still going to go. And then it's going up a little bit more. And you say, oh, I think it's going to go up some more. And so I'm going to get in, but while the getting's good. And so you buy right here at the very tip of this candle. You have no idea. Right now, this whole bar right here is green at the current moment. It's green. You have no idea that this is what it's going to turn into. So that is a double dip. You've already bought right here. You made a good bit of money all the way up to here. And so you sell. You take that money and that profit and you put it in your pocket and you walk out the door happy as can be. And then right when you're walking out the door, almost home free, you look back and see, oh, it's going up a little bit more. And you look at it a little bit and you start getting greedy. and you see it go up a little bit more, and you say, oh, I think it has some more room to go. And so you go in there and take all that money that you just made plus what you originally started with, and you put it all in on that stock. And so you wait with your hands rubbing like, ooh, it's going to go up, it's going to go up. And all of a sudden you start seeing it come back down and come back down and come back down. Shoot, by the time it gets down here, you have lost everything. You lost the money you started with and your profit. You lost everything. And then you get discouraged and you get mad and you're like, oh, well, it's a racket. And out the door you go and you never come back. That's why you don't double dip. Because 9 times out of 10, if you double dip, it's not going to come out to your benefit. It's not going to happen. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified whenever I upload new videos. And also, don't forget to check out the Dollar Monster website, which I'll leave in the description below. Alright, take care.